Reading from Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam, 7th Canto, 9th Chapter, text number 37. Tasmai bhavan hayashiras tanuvam hi bibhrat. Tasmai bhavan hayashiras tanuvam hi bibhrat. Vedadruha atibalo madhu kaitabhakyo. Vedadruha atibalo madhu kaitabhakyo. Hatvanayat Shrutiganash cha rajas tamash cha. Hatvanayat Shrutiganash cha rajas tamash cha. Sattvam tava priyatamam tanum amananti. Sattvam tava priyatamam tanumamananti. Tasmai bhavan hayashiras tanuvam hi bibhrat. Vedadruhavati balau madhukaitabhakyo. Atmanaya shruti ganasha rajastamascha. Tattvam tava priyatamam tanumamananti. Tasmai bhavan hayashiras tanuvam hi bibhrat. Vedadruhavati balau madhukaitabhakyo. Hatvanaya shruti ganasha rajastamascha. Sattvam tava priyatamam tanumamananti. Tasmai bhavanaya shiras tanuvam hi bibhrat. Vedadruhavati balau madhukaitabhakyo. Hatvanaya shruti ganasha rajastamascha. Sattvam tava priyatamam tanumamananti. Tasmai bhavan hayashiras tanuvam hi bibhrat. Vedadruhavati balau madhukaitabhakyo. Hatvanaya shruti ganasha rajastamascha. Sattvam tava priyatamam tanumamananti. Tasmai, unto Lord Brahma, Bhavan, your lordship, Hayashiraha, having the head and neck of a horse, Tanuvam, the incarnation, he indeed, Bibhrat, accepting, Vedadruhau, two demons who were against the Vedic principles, Atibalau, extremely powerful, Madhu Kaitabha Akhya, known as Madhu and Kaitabha, Hatva, killing, Anayat, delivered, Shruti Ganan, all the different Vedas, Sam, Yajur, Rig and Atharv, Cha and Rajaha, Tamaha, Cha, by representing the modes of passion and ignorance. Sattvam, pure transcendental goodness. Tava, your Priyatamam, most dear, Tanum, form, as Hayagriva, Amananti, they honor. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhakti Vedant Swami Prabhupada. Translation. My dear Lord, when you appeared as Hayagriva with the head of a horse, you killed two demons known as Madhu and Kaitava, who were full of the modes of passion and ignorance. Then you delivered the Vedic knowledge to Lord Brahma. For this reason, all the great saints accept your forms as transcendental, untinged by material qualities. Please repeat. My dear Lord, when you appeared as Hayagriva with the head of a horse, you killed two demons known as Madhu and Kaitava, who were full of the modes of passion and ignorance. Then you delivered the Vedic knowledge to Lord Brahma. For this reason, all the great saints accept your forms as transcendental, untinged by material qualities. Purport. The Supreme Personality of Godhead in His transcendental form is always ready to give protection to His devotees. As mentioned herein, the Lord in the form of Hayagriva killed two demons named Madhu and Kaitava when they attacked Lord Brahma. Modern demons think that there was no life in the beginning of creation, but from Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam we understand that the first living creature created by the Supreme Personality of Godhead was Lord Brahma, who is full of Vedic understanding. Unfortunately, those entrusted with distributing Vedic knowledge, such as the devotees engaged in spreading Krishna consciousness, may sometimes be attacked by demons. But they must rest assured that demoniac attacks will not be able to harm them, for the Lord is always prepared to give them protection. The Vedas provide the knowledge by which we can understand the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Vedaischa sarvairaham eva vedyaha. The devotees of the Lord are always ready to spread knowledge by which one may understand the Lord through Krishna consciousness. But the demons, being unable to understand the Supreme Lord, are full of ignorance and passion. Thus the Lord, whose form is transcendental, is always ready to kill the demons. By culturing the mode of goodness, one can understand the position of the transcendental Lord and how the Lord is always prepared to remove all obstacles on the path of understanding Him. In summary, whenever the Lord incarnates, He appears in His original transcendental form. As the Lord says in Bhagavad Gita, Yada yada hi dharmasya glanir bhavati bharata abhyutthanam dharmasya tadatmanam srijamyaham. Whenever and wherever there is a decline in religious practice, O descendant of Bharat, and a predominant rise of irreligion, at that time I descend myself. It is simply foolish to think of the Lord as being originally impersonal, but accepting a material body when He appears as a personal incarnation. Whenever the Lord appears, He appears in His original transcendental form, which is spiritual and blissful. But unintelligent men, such as the Mayavadis, cannot understand the transcendental form of the Lord, and therefore the Lord chastises them by saying, Avajananti ma mudha manushim tanumashritam. Fools deride me when I descend in the human form. Whenever the Lord appears, whether as a fish, a tortoise, a hog, or any other form, one should understand that He maintains His transcendental position and that His only business, as stated here, is hatva, to kill the demons. The Lord appears in order to protect the devotees and kill the demons. Paritranaya sadhunam vinashaya dushkritam. Since the demons are always ready to oppose Vedic civilization, they are sure to be killed by the transcendental form of the Lord. Thus ends the Bhaktivedanta purport. Om ajnanaatimirandhasya jnananjana shalakaya chakshurunmilitam yena tasmai shri gurave namaha Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Presthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Sarasvate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatare Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. So we are reading how Prahlāda Mahārāja is specifying Lord Narasimha by his prayers. In the last class we discussed how Lord Brahma, he did research for 100 celestial years. And when he did so much of austerity, by the dint of his austerities, he was able to realize that Lord is all pervading. There is no need for him to look for the Lord somewhere outside, but Lord is there everywhere. And he spread throughout his whole body, just like the aroma is present in the earth. So this is called Brahma realization. Brahma means Sarvam Khalvidam Brahma, everything is Brahma. There is Krishna, energy coming out of body of Krishna. And everything that we see is simply transformation of that energy. But that is not the ultimate understanding of absolute truth, Krishna. Yes, definitely, our bodies are also nothing but Krishna's energy. So in that sense, it is not different from Krishna. So he realized how the Supreme Lord is spread throughout his body. But the realization does not end here. That is why in the next verse, then it is stated, which is previous to this, verse number 36. Then he advanced and he was able to see many faces, many arms, legs and thighs of the Supreme Lord. This is called realization of the Virat aspect. What is called Virat aspect? Universal form of Krishna. So the understanding is just like president is a person. But even without looking at the form of the president, one can understand, oh, president is coming here. How we can understand? We'll see presidential bodyguards. We see on their Republic Day parade. So they are riding on horses and they are special, unique to the president. And then we'll see his cavalcade, so many cars, his special bulletproof car, so many people around him, his associates. So without seeing the president, we can understand that president is coming. But still a person does not have knowledge of personal form of president, even though he's seeing many forms. But personal form is still not known. So this is advanced realization, Virat Rup. In a similar fashion, as soon as the Lord enters here in this material universe, so many forms develop within this universe. Without presence of spirit soul, this body does not develop. Similarly, without presence of Supreme Lord, the universe cannot manifest any forms. So thus all the so many forms, even our forms which are existing here, they have developed in this world because Krishna has entered. Just like because president has entered in the car, all the forms are arranged around him in his cavalcade. All those people would disperse if the president is out of the car. He is not present there. This is called Virat Roop. But highest understanding is knowing the personal form of the Lord. And that he is explaining here. So that is why we have to read Vedas in completion. Yes, initially one can have Brahma understanding that Sarvam Khalvidam Brahma, everything is Brahma. But that is not the ultimate understanding. Then one advances to understand Virat Roop, Paramatma realization, ultimately Bhagavan realization. That is explained here, a unique form of the Lord. Tasmai Bhavan Hay Shiras Tanuvam Hi Bibhrat. Tasmai means unto him. Unto him means whom? Brahma. About Brahma, Lord Prahlāda Mahārāja is explaining how Brahma realized you as Brahm, as Virat Roop, and then Tasmai, unto that Supreme Person, what you did? Bhavan, your good self, Haya Shiras. Shira means head. You took a form having the body of a human being, but the head of Haya Shiras. Haya means horse. Bolo Hari Hari, Mukund Murari, Ram Krishna Hayagriva. Hayashiras or Hayagriva is a very unique form which Lord took. Just like he took Lord Narsinghdev's form, he has taken Matsya form. Similarly, Lord took the form of Hayagriva. So Hayagriva is a very unique form. Many people have taken. So although it might appear to be very fantastic, mythological, but it is not mythology, it is a fact. So Hayagriva is the name of incarnation of God, and it is also the name of a demon as well. There was a demon also with the same form, with the head of a horse. And then this form was also taken by Rishi. Anyone knows? A great saint took this form to speak Bhagavatam. Anyone remembers? I think it was Sage Dadichi, if I am not wrong. So he was very, very exalted sage. And Ashwin Kumaras, the doctors of the heavenly planet, they wanted to understand Bhagavatam, so they approached him. So Saint Dadichi is a very, very exalted sage, powerful sage who gave his own body so that Vajra can be formed, by which Indra can defeat his enemies. So Ashwin Kumaras, they approach Saint Dadichi and they tell, please explain us Bhagavatam. Now Indra got worried that if they understand Bhagavatam, they will leave, they will retire from their roles as doctors. Then who will treat us? They will become sadhus. So Indra got worried. If they understand Bhagavatam, they will have no more interest in attending to their regular duties of a doctor. So he warned Dadichi, listen, we have two expert doctors. You should not speak. You be very careful. If you speak Bhagavatam to them, I will come and behead you immediately. So when Ashwin Kumaras approached, so Sage told, yes, I want to speak to you, but Indra has spoken like this. He will remove my head from the body if I speak this knowledge to you. So please tell me, what do I do? So they told, don't worry, we are expert doctors. So what we'll do now is, we will sever your head from your body and we will keep it preserved. And then we will give you the head of a horse. Through that head, you speak Bhagavatam to us. When Indra comes to kill you, remove your head, then anyway your head we have preserved, that will put back on your body. So yes, it is a good idea. So then in this way, the horse head was installed and Saint Dadichi spoke Bhagavatam to Ashwin Kumaras and they got enlightened. Then Indra came, removed the head and his original head was installed. So yes, so now our modern medical science also, it is also doing magic. Male is becoming female, female is becoming male. So if it advances further, they may also attain such thing at some point of time, but it is possible. Many times head have been replaced. It was a common power. Lord Ganesha got his head in a similar fashion. Who else got? Daksh Prajapati. He got the head of a goat. So like this, it has been a common phenomena. People are getting head of different forms. So why Lord took this head here? Tasmai bhavan hai shiras tanuvam me bibrad Vedad druhav ati balau madhu kaita bhakyo. There were ati balau means very, very powerful demons. Their names were Madhu and Katab. Madhu and Katab, the demons anyway are opposed to the Vedas. So they wanted to steal the Vedas away from Brahma. Vedad druhav. So thus they took away the Vedas. And then without Vedas, we are at loss. Anadi bahirmukha jeev, Krishna bhuli gela. Ataiva Krishna Ved Puran Karila. It is explained. We living entities have forgotten the Vedic knowledge. Anadi, from eternity, for a long time, ever since we have come to material world, we have forgotten the Supreme Lord. So that is why Krishna very kindly has given to us the Vedas. In Vedas, so many rules and regulations are there. If we follow the Vedic rules and regulations, we will not suffer from so many miseries in this world and we'll be able to go back to Godhead, which is the ultimate aim of life. So thus it is important to understand that all the Vedic knowledge that we have, what is the ultimate purpose? So we should not get stuck in the rituals. So many people are doing temple worship nicely. Many people are doing sacrifices. Of course, in Kali Yuga, there is not much utility of doing sacrifice. But they get stuck at that point and they don't advance further. Then it is told, Dharma sunishtita punsam vishvak sena kathasuyah notpadayed yadi ratim sham evihi kevalam. If a person is doing one's duty very, very nicely, so people ask that I'm doing my duty very nicely. Is spirituality required for me? So yes, it is told what is the purpose of doing all the duties here. The purpose of doing all duty is dharma swanashrita punsam vishvaksena kathasuya notpadayed ratim yadi. If rati, strong attachment, you do not evoke towards Krishna, then it is useless waste of time. Shram evihi kevalam. So we should have a very strong attraction towards Krishna. Vedaischa sarvair aham eva vedyaha. From all the Vedas, I am to be known. So if we are not able to understand who is Krishna, why Krishna has created us, what is our relationship with Krishna, this is the ultimate purpose of all the Vedic knowledge. If this is not served, then whatever else we are following in Vedas, that is useless waste of time. So we should always see that Vasudev Katha Ruchi is increasing in our life. So if we become devotee like that, then Krishna is always present to save us, just like Brahma. Brahma wanted to spread this Vedic knowledge, but demons took away. So Prabhupada is telling, Prabhupada is using very important words here. The Supreme Personality of Godhead in his transcendental form is always ready to give protection to his devotees. So people need protection. That is why everyone is working so very much hard. Yes. We need protection from three kinds of miseries. Adhyatmik, adhidevik, adhibhautik. All the miseries happen only because of Rajoguna and Tamoguna, which is explained here. Rajas tamascha. So Rajoguna, Tamoguna, demons are personified Rajogun and Tamogun, mode of passion and mode of ignorance. So mode of passion and ignorance always want to defeat Sattvaguna. So demons always want to defeat devotees. So all the problems of this life are only because of Rajoguna and Tamoguna. It could be Adhyatmic problem, problems created by my mind and body. In body there are diseases, there is old age. And in mind there could be problem. Somebody has scolded us, somebody did not give us respect, or there is loss of near and dear one, then mind becomes troubled. So this is called Adhyatmic misery. Miseries pertaining to our mind and body. There could be miseries arising because of other people, or there could be misery because of supernatural factors. And we are working very hard because we want to avoid these miseries. But we are not taking, most of the people do not take to the best means of protection. What is the best means of protection from all the miseries? If Lord comes and protects. And Prabhupada is telling here, the Supreme Personality of Godhead in his transcendental form is always ready to give protection to his devotees. Not that Lord may give protection sometimes. No. Lord is always ready. This is his only business. Why Lord comes here? Paritranaya sadhunam vinashaya dushkritam dharma sansthapanarthaya sambhavami yuge yuge. Paritranaya sadhunam. His only purpose is to save the devotees. God has no other business, no other purpose. God is not working hard because he also needs to accumulate money and he needs to pay money for his children's school fees. No. God's only business is to give protection to devotees. Lord is always ready. Rather, Lord is anxious. In another place, Prabhupada writes. So if I see that I am not able to protect myself, still miseries are coming in my life, that means I am not yet devotee. Because Lord is ready to give protection to devotees. So one of the earliest disciples of Srila Prabhupada, Govindasi Mataji, she is recollecting in the book that how in the initial days, when she and her husband, Gaur Sundar Prabhuji, came in touch with Prabhupada, They came in touch, and very soon Prabhupada initiated them. I think in a matter of a week or 2 weeks, that's it, not more than that. And they got initiated. They were very, very eager for spiritual life. And when they got initiated, then once both of them were having a morning walk with Prabhupada in San Francisco, if I am not wrong. So when they were having a walk, then there was a forest and there was a path around the forest in which Prabhupada was walking. So her husband was discussing something with Prabhupada. And somehow she was very fond of impersonal meditation, Mataji. She would go into the forest and she would sit there for a very, very long time. And she would relish that meditation. So impersonal meditation also is very relishable. There is a great taste in that. You come to Sattva-guna. But after coming in touch with Prabhupada, there was no time. There is morning class. Then entire day they are hearing Bhagavatam, and Prabhupada assigned her the work of painting. Entire day she is painting. Husband is reading for her. And he is guiding. And end of the day, again there is class. So there is no time for this forest meditation. So she told, this is nice idea. Prabhupada is going with my husband and they have to take left. Again, they will take right. Let me take shortcut through the forest. In between, I will do some meditation. I will catch them quickly on the other side. So both of them kept talking, kept walking, and they did not notice that she has not come along. She entered the forest. She went in between the woods and then she started meditating. But very soon, she realizes the sounds of branches of the trees falling and crashing. And then she notices a very tall, huge, dark, sinister man is coming to attack her. And she got scared. She understood there is no hope now. Immediately, the man grabbed her by the neck and pushed her to the ground. She was pinned to the forest floor, and he was very heavy. She was unable to move. With one hand, he was holding her neck. With another hand, he started tugging her jeans. And then it was sure. She told, it was certain he is going to rape me and kill me. Now my life is over. Seeing no other means, she started chanting, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama. And immediately she was chanting in great earnestness. Immediately she notices that the man is having horrible looks at his face. He is terrified, seeing something she is not able to see. And immediately jumped back. And then told, you go away. And he also ran away. So then she understood that he has seen something from other dimension which I am not able to see. He was about to accomplish his purpose, but he got terrified and he ran away. So then she met Prabhupada and then she explained the whole position. So Prabhupada told, yes, so you would have died a horrible death. But Krishna saw that you are going to become a devotee, so Krishna has saved you. So in this way, when a person surrenders to Krishna, then his destiny changes. As we were discussing in previous class also, how destiny could not change. But if we surrender to Krishna, yes, destiny, then it is in Krishna's control. Similarly, there was another instance when some devotees were traveling in a car. You can wake him up. So the devotees were traveling in a car and the devotees met with a very, very bad accident. And one devotee was so much hurt that he was limping for a very long time. They had to spend a long time and they were not able to walk also. So Prabhupada told, yes, you would have died, but Krishna saved you. So although in the destiny, death was sure, but Prabhupada saved. So in this way, Krishna is always trying to save us. But if we are in Sattva-guna, we are advanced, sometimes Krishna may make us realize how he is acting in our life. He is changing our destiny. So in this manner, Krishna has got no other business. Like this, many, many other cases are there. Once the devotees were doing book distribution and there was a gang of bikers in America, and their name was Hell's Angels. Angels are there in heaven. So, what they're telling? Hell's Angels. So, anyway, so they are envious people, demons, rogues. They were envious of devotees. One, they got a devotee and they started chasing the devotee. Poor simple devotee started running for his life. And then they're chasing the devotee. So finally, devotee found a very narrow lane and then he entered that lane. Unfortunately, it was a dead end. And now devotee is Hell's Angels coming on the other side. He thought definitely all these people are going to beat me badly today. So having no other recourse, he closed his eyes and then he started chanting, Namaste Narsimhaya Prahlāda Mahārāja Hiranyakashipur Vaksha. And then he was with great intensity meditating on Lord Narsimha. He was praying. And then he's seeing that his prayers are over. But still nobody has come to grab and beat him. And then he turns around. He sees nobody is there. So he's surprised, what is this? All these people, they were coming there, they were about to get down from their bikes. Now nobody is there. So anyway, he goes back to temple happily. Other day he sees that all these people are again on their bikes, they have come to their temple. And then this person sees that maybe they are coming here in the temple, they'll beat us now. But these people very gently, they approached him. And then they took a lot of interest in Krishna consciousness. So he told, please tell me, what do you practice? And then he asked, no, I will tell you, but you please tell me, the other day you were about to beat me. But then all of you suddenly vanished. What happened? So he told, oh, please don't do that again. So we do not know what thing you are practicing. Suddenly and then he, no, please tell me what happened exactly to you. So you told you started chanting some prayers and immediately a very terrible form of lion appeared on top of you. And that lion was about to devour us all. So immediately we ran away for our lives. And like this, many other cases are there. So Narsimha Chaturdashi will come in some time. We'll share more pastimes of Lord Narsimha. So even now, Lord has appeared in many, many ways, showing his transcendental form and saving the devotees. So Lord is always there. Not that Lord was saving Satyuga only or in the beginning of creation or on Satyaloka. Lord has saved now. Lord has saved somebody yesterday, even before that. And always Lord is personally participating, even showing his transcendental form to the devotees. But one has to become devotee. That's it. One has to become sadhu. Lord has no other business. Lord is anxious. He is ready to save us. But we want to try all our means. Draupadi also tried. She tried all her means. Most powerful husbands, most powerful people on the planet, they also could not save. Then she surrendered to Krishna. So we should see that we have been trying so much. But this recourse we have not taken. We have not tried to surrender to Krishna. We have not tried to become sadhu. So we simply have to become sadhu. Then Krishna's only business is paritranaya sadhunam. Just to save the sadhus, he comes here. Then nobody can trouble us. There will be no problem in our life. Mind, body cannot give us trouble. Others cannot give us trouble. Natural calamities cannot give us trouble. And if we don't become sadhu, that means we are in mode of passion and ignorance. Then troubles will always continue because the nature of passion and ignorance is trouble. So our life will always remain troublesome if we do not become sadhu. Now, what is a sadhu? Api che suduracharo bhajate mam ananya bhak sadhureva samantavya samyak vyavasito isaha. I may be indulging in very, very abominable activities which are immoral also. Because when we take to devotional service, momentum of the body is not easy to stop. We might still be indulging in accidental sense gratification, not willingly, but by the force of the body, we indulge in such activities. But still we are sadhu. The condition of sadhu is bhajate mam ananya bhak. Engaging in service of Krishna, thinking of Krishna without any deviation, that is sadhu. Bhajate mam ananya bhak. Without any deviation, morning to evening, if we are engaged in service of Krishna, then we are sadhu. Ananyas chintayanto mam. Ye jana paryupasate tesham nityabhyuktanam yogakshemam vahami. I protect the devotees who are always ananya, without any deviation, thinking of me. So thus we have to try to practice this platform, always thinking of Krishna. So one devotee was asking Prabhupada that, Prabhupada, we see sometimes devotees suffering. Why Krishna does not save the devotees? So Prabhupada told, do you know what is a devotee? You think becoming devotee is such an easy thing? So if you are devotee, Krishna will save. But devotee means always engaged. So this is the ultimate purpose of all the Vedas, that we become devotees. Vedascha sarver aham eva vedyo. Dharma sonashita punsam. You are doing your duty very nicely, but you do not come to Krishna consciousness, then it is useless waste of time. You will not be able to solve the problems of life simply by following the rituals. And this caution we should have in our life also. We are also following so many rules and regulations, but we should be very careful that we follow in the spirit of Krishna consciousness. Otherwise, if the spirit goes missing, then spiritual becomes ritual. Only rituals will be doing. So we are doing all the things very nicely. We are getting up in the morning. We are doing the arti nicely in the temple. But we should see, am I able to advance in my attraction towards Krishna? If that is happening, then it means everything is nice in my practice. Otherwise, I should be cautious, Prabhupada tells. So very nicely Prabhupada explains here. Of course, ultimate is always be absorbed in glorifying the Lord. Now Prabhupada is explaining a very important thing. Sometimes devotees ask that, Prabhu, I am chanting 16 rounds. I am attending Mangalarti regularly. But why I am not getting taste in spiritual life? Why that pleasure is not coming? Sometimes after practicing for a long time also, pleasure may not be there. Or pleasure may come and go away from our life. So if this pleasure, this attraction is not coming in Krishna consciousness, then what is the cause? I have read so many books also. What do I do? So sometimes I think, when will that stage come when I will enjoy my spiritual life? So here Prabhupada explains. Of course, ultimate is always be absorbed in glorifying the Lord, but not in the beginning. In the beginning, you must work very hard. You come to the stage of pure devotional platform. Then you can fully engage yourself in meditation or chanting, not in the beginning. In the beginning, you should be very expert and active. That is wanted. So devotees sometimes, as soon as they understand Krishna consciousness, we are making Vrindavan Chandrodaya Mandir. And many devotees have purchased flat over there because they want to live there. So it's a very good idea. But they want to go there immediately. So Prabhupada tells, unless you have worked very hard for Krishna and you go to Vrindavan, still your mind will be disturbed. You will not be able to do bhajan nicely. So mind will not get absorbed in Krishna. So in order to get absorbed in Krishna, you should have taste. Unless you have taste, how mind will get absorbed in Krishna? Prematurely, if you want to go to Vrindavan, then there also will indulge in sense gratification and sinful activities. So thus it is told in Bhagavad Gita also. Yoga rudasya tasyeva shama karana muchyate. Yoga rurukshor muner evam karma karanam uchyate. In the initial stages of the yoga, one has to work very hard. So that is what Prabhupada is mentioning here. In the beginning, you must work very hard, not just hard. Prabhupada is telling you must work very hard. In the beginning, you must work very hard. You come to the stage of pure devotional platform, then you can fully engage yourself in meditation or chanting. So in order to when we come to pure devotional platform, then we will relish chanting Hare Krishna mantra. Then we can always chant Hare Krishna Mahamantra, which is told Satatam Kirtayantu Mam. So somebody can tell, Krishna is telling Satatam Kirtayantu Mam, always chant my name. But Prabhupada is not allowing to chant always. Prabhupada is telling, do this seva, do that seva, do something else. So when in 9th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, Krishna has told Satatam Kirtayanto Mam, why Prabhupada is not telling sit here and chant 24 hours? And as we discussed, one devotee, he came in touch with Prabhupada, he wanted to have initiation, then he left, he told, bhajan is not given much importance here. And then he was chanting 64 rounds and then he started his pills for depression. So what is this? So we have to understand, yes, Satatam Kirtayanto Mam, we have to do that, but are we qualified to do Satatam Kirtayanto Mam? Can we chant always Hare Krishna Mahamantra? No. If you are qualified, it is very nice, you should do that. But here Prabhupada is telling that is pure devotional platform. It is not possible. We may do for some time, for 1 or 2 days, but we will not be able to continue. We are chanting Hare Krishna mantra, but Prabhupada tells in the mind we are thinking of money and women. So that will happen to us. So that is why it is told we have to reach pure devotional platform first. And how one reaches pure devotional platform? By working, not hard, working very hard for Krishna. Oh, Prabhupada wants to increase his movement. So that is why he is telling this thing. He has created this thing? No. Whatever Prabhupada speaks is directly Bhagavatam, just as is translated in English. So thus it is told in Bhagavatam how these demons will be killed, how Rajas and Tamas will go away from the heart. Shranvatam swakata Krishna punya shravana kirtanaha Hridi antasto hiya bhadrani vidhunoti surit satam. Shranvatam swakata Krishna, simply by chanting and hearing about Krishna, tada rajas tamo bhava, rajas and tamas is removed from the heart. Shravanam and kirtanam has to be done. But there is one verse which comes before this, first canto, second chapter, verse number 16. 17th is Shranvatam swakata Krishna. Before we chant and hear about Krishna, unless we have taste, why shall we chant and hear about Krishna? Isn't it? We chant and hear about something in which we have taste. If taste is not there, we will not be able to. Just like we request so many times, please read Prabhupada books, read Prabhupada books. Devotees don't read. Why? Taste is not there. But they may read WhatsApp messages every day. Every day without fail. Half an hour is going in WhatsApp. But reading, difficult to have. So I was discussing with a devotee who was not able to read. So he told, yes, Prabhu, actually it is cheating. I have time to see WhatsApp messages every day. But reading, I don't find time. So this is not fact. Because I don't have taste actually, so I am not doing it. So that is why Bhagavatam mentions, before doing Shranvatam Swakata Krishna, how to develop taste. And what is that verse? Anybody knows? Shushusho Shaddadanasya Vasudev Katharuchi Syat Mahasevaya Vipra Punya Tirth Nishevanat. Nishevanat means service. Service has to be done to whom? Mahat Sevaya. One has to do service of Mahat. Mahat means pure devotees. By rendering service to the pure devotees of Krishna who are Punya Tirtha, who are free from all vices. There are no bad habits seen on them. They are Uttam Adhikaris, pure devotees. Mahat Sevaya. If you render service to them, then what happens? Vasudev Katha Ruchi Syat. Vasudev Katha Ruchi. One develops affinity to hear the message of Krishna. So when one works hard to serve a pure devotee who is completely freed from all vices, then affinity to develop, affinity to hear Krishna Katha automatically arises in the heart. So this is Bhagavatam. So thus there is no need. Devotees have finished Chaitanya Charitamrita, Shat Sandarbha also of Jeev Goswami, and then Rup Goswami, Gopal Champu, everything they have finished. But then Anartha Nivritti itself becomes so tough. So that is why Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Prabhupada wants. So I'll just read. Prabhupada wants very nicely. So the devotee was expressing to Prabhupada because they had formed a party to do political campaigning. So it is Prabhupada, we have to campaign but on Krishna conscious principles. But if we preach Krishna conscious, nobody understands. So he is telling the problem is trying to get into office means to become minister under those circumstances to make them known that we stand for this. As soon as we become ministers, we'll stop meat eating, gambling, intoxication, and illicit sex. So it tells Prabhupada, getting into office is not difficult. But getting into office and explaining that we stand for these principles, nobody will vote us. And to have anybody vote for you, it is difficult. So Prabhupada laughs. Nobody may vote, but we must go on preaching. That I have already explained. Some of the university, the whole country is illiterate. Does this mean university should be stopped? University must be there. One who is fortunate will come and take education. It is not an argument that people are illiterate, they don't care for it, therefore let the university be closed. This is no argument. Oh, very less people are able to come to IIT Bombay, let us close IIT Bombay. Out of billions of people, hardly few hundred are able to come. So let us close this institute. What is the use? No. It is the most important institute. Those who are fortunate, those who are capable, they will come and they'll benefit the whole country. So thus we cannot compromise. Well, let IIT Bombay teach A, B, C, D, E. Then many people will join. No, that also cannot be done. IIT Bombay must teach highest technology. And those people who are qualified, they will be able to join. If you teach A, B, C, D, then many will come. Correct? Entire country, all the children can join. So similarly, Prabhupada told you should not compromise in your preaching. One moon is better than millions of stars. Millions of stars cannot illuminate night, but one moon is sufficient. So without any compromise, Prabhupada tells we have to preach Krishna consciousness. And those people who are capable by virtue of previous life or in this life, they will be able to understand. Let one man understand. One such person, Prabhupada tells, who has understood this principle, he'll be like fire. He will do tremendous work. So it does not matter if 100 people are not sitting in the class. One person is sitting and he is able to understand Krishna consciousness. That is sufficient. He is one moon. So thus Prabhupada told, we don't care for it. Yashomati Nandan, another devotee asked, gradually they will develop attraction. Prabhupada, yes, we have to work. That is preaching. You don't think preaching is so easy going. Eating, sleeping, and sometimes chanting, Hari Bol. That's all. Laughs. That is not preaching. We must be ready to implant Krishna conscious ideas throughout the whole world. So Prabhupada's preaching will not be easy. People may not understand. So it is not easy thing. Sometimes chanting Hari Bol and easy. No. One must be ready to implant Krishna consciousness ideas throughout the whole world. That is the order of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Prithvi te ache yat nagaradi gram sarvatra prachar hoye. Every town and village, my name should be spread. Umapati, that probably won't happen overnight though. Prabhupada explains. The deity worship program is meant for us to keep us safe. If we neglect deity worship, we shall also fall. But that is not the all duty finished. So in India, you see people are very fond of deity worship. Every person will have Laddu Gopal, they will worship. They have some or the other form of deity worship. And they think this is sufficient. Sometimes they ask, अरे इतना क्या करते हो, क्या सेवा देते हो जाकर? पूजा तो हम भी करते हैं घर में. What are you doing there? So Prabhupada explains here very important point. Yes, the deity worship program is very essential. Yes, we are doing this Mangala Aarti morning program and evening program. Both these programs are very essential. They are meant to keep us safe. If we neglect deity worship, we shall also fall. But if I think I am doing deity worship nicely, I am very fixed up in my sadhana. Every morning and evening I am doing my thing. Prabhupada tells, but that is not all duty finished. Archayam ev harye ya pujam shraddhaye hate. Archa means deity. If anyone is worshipping the deity very nicely, but natad bhakteshu chanyeshu, but he does not know anything more, who is devotee, who is non-devotee, what is the duty to the world? Sa bhakta prakrita smrita. He is a material devotee. He is a material devotee. So bhaktas, devotees are of various platforms. Kanishtha means material devotee. He is engaging in devotional services, but he is not able to elevate himself to spiritual platform. He is still on material platform only, although he is engaged in devotional services. So that is called deity worship. Archayam ev Hare. A very strong Brahmana who is very strict in following the deity worship, he is a material devotee. If he does not know how to, what is his duty towards the people in general? There are 4 categories which a devotee is able to identify very, very clearly. Which are the 4 categories? Ishvara tat adhineshu, balisheshu, dvishatsucha, prema maitri kripa upeksha, ya bhakta samadhyamah. Ishvara, he understands who is God. Ordinary person, neophyte, he will not be able to understand. He will tell everyone is a devotee, and so-called saint, he is also God, he is also avatar of Krishna. They will worship any person as they do not know. He is not able to differentiate. But when a devotee becomes advanced, he is able to understand who is God, who is a devotee. He tries to serve the devotees, have friendship with them. He knows this person is envious. Do not try to preach to envious people. And he preaches to innocent people. So unless he knows what is his duty, my duty is to kripa. Kripa means to share this mercy, to share this knowledge with everyone. Unless he realizes this, he is on the material platform. Prabhupada tells he is a material devotee. So we have to take the responsibility to understand who is actually a pure devotee and what is our duty to the people in general. Then you make advancement. Then we come to second level. Then you become Madhyamadikari. Madhyamadikari, advanced devotee. Just like these people, either in India or here, they remain simply churchianity, going to the church without any understanding. Therefore, it is failing. So Prabhupada tells in India also people go to temples. You go to Tirupati Balaji, it may take many, many hours to have darshan, or other temples. Lot many people, they come to temples. Prabhupada tells in West also, people are coming to church. But it remains churchianity. Therefore, it is failing now. Churches are being closed, just like in India also temples. They were coming to temples, now people are not interested in going to temples also much. Similarly, if you do not keep yourself fit to preach, then your temples will all be closed in due course of time. Without preaching, you will not feel enthused to continue the temple worship. And without temple worship, you cannot keep yourself pure and clean. The two things must go on parallel, then there is success. In modern time, either Hindus, Muslim or Christian, because in these places there is no teaching of philosophy, therefore they are closing either mosque or temple or church, they will close. So thus Prabhupada tells, if you do not keep yourself fit to preach, then your temples will be closed. Without preaching, you will not feel enthused to continue temple worship. Because preaching is Mahasevaya Vipra, serving the pure devotee. Pure devotee comes here to preach. Krishna comes here to preach. So serving pure devotee means preaching, acting on his behalf. So if we do not serve pure devotee, we do not work hard to preach, then what will happen? Vasudev Katharuchi will not come. We will not be enthused to continue temple worship. There will be no taste in hearing about Krishna, worshipping Krishna, serving Krishna. Taste will not be there. And then if you stop temple worship, then fall down. Finished. So thus, in order to keep us enthused for worshipping Krishna, for hearing about Krishna, one should preach. Prajapati, another devotee, asks, they can show no good result for their activities. Prabhupada, yes, that is preaching. Therefore, we are writing so many books. Unless we take care of the books and preach and read ourselves, understand the philosophy, this Hare Krishna will be finished within few years. Because there will be no life. How long one can artificially go on Hare Krishna, Hari Bol? That will be artificial, no life. So thus, this Prabhupada is explaining collectively also. If collectively as a movement, we don't take care of the books and preach and read ours, if we are not reading and we are not preaching, then we don't understand philosophy, then this Hare Krishna will be finished within few years. So Hare Krishna will be finished collectively or individually also. Individually, if we don't read and we don't preach, Hare Krishna will be finished in our life. in a short span of time. In few days or few weeks, it will be finished. So if we don't preach and we don't read, we don't understand the philosophy, then Hare Krishna is finished in our life also. Because artificially, we cannot always do Hare Krishna, Hare Bol. It will be artificial. Naturally, out of taste, if we are supposed to chant, then we have to preach. And we have to read very nicely. Without preaching, without understanding philosophy, you cannot keep your strength. So we ask that, Prabhu, I feel so weak. I am not able to change my habits. I get carried away. Why we are not feeling strength? Prabhupada is explaining, without preaching, without understanding philosophy, you cannot keep your strength. If we are not preaching, not understanding philosophy, we will not be able to maintain strength. We will be helpless in the hands of forces of nature. Everyone should be thoroughly well conversed with the philosophy which we are putting. That means you must read thoroughly every day. Every day we should read, not formality, that okay, it is told 1 hour we should read. Somehow I am able to catch up with my reading. No, one should read thoroughly every day. So many books we have got, and Bhagavat is so perfect that any verse you read, you get a new enlightenment. It is so nice. Either Bhagavat or Bhagavad Gita. So thus Prabhupada is telling, it is very important to read very nicely, thoroughly every day. Otherwise, we will not be able to get taste unless we understand philosophy and we preach philosophy. And again, simply if we read also, then also we will not be able to understand Shastras. Prabhupada explains, I am glad to know that you are working hard to expand the Krishna consciousness propaganda in Boston. So we are all hearing this class and all those who are hearing online. So we are all very eager to understand the Bhagavad Gita and Bhagavatam. That is out of so many options. We have sit here. But we have to understand there is a secret in understanding the Shastras, in understanding Bhagavatam. And many people, rather most of the people are not able to understand this secret. And that Prabhupada is again explaining, reiterating here. I am glad to know that you are working hard to expand the Krishna consciousness propaganda in Boston. I may say that this practical devotion is the secret to understanding the Shastras. So practical devotion, again the same thing. Syat mahassevaya vipra. Practical devotion. Practical means do something practically with your intelligence, with your mind and body. Do something tangible. So this practical devotion is secret to understanding Shastras. So please note the word what Prabhupada explains here now. My Guru Maharaj used to say that for one who is not engaged in devotional service, reading all the books is simply like licking the outside of the honey jar. My Guru Maharaj, Prabhupada's spiritual master, used to say that one who is not engaged in devotional service, reading all the books is simply like licking the, if you lick the outside of the honey jar, taste aayega? Nahin. So no taste will come, no understanding. If for one who is not engaged in practical devotional service, it will be like licking the outside of honey jar. One who thinks the books is the thing, is content in this way, but we should learn the secret to open the jar and taste the honey. One who thinks the books is the thing, is content in this way, but we should learn. So one should not be content that, okay, book I will read now, I'll understand entire Bhagavad Gita. Everyone is telling Bhagavad Gita is very good book. By reading, we will not understand. We should learn the secret to open the jar and taste the honey. In this way, if we can simply understand one book, there is no need of reading many books. People have target, I have to finish Bhagavatam, I have to finish Chaitanya Charitamrita, I have to memorize all the shlokas. One of the professors of my college, when we joined ashram, one of the devotees went back and met him. And we were knowing those many shlokas at that time. Then what? He was knowing all the shlokas of Bhagavad Gita. And he was knowing from which chapter, which verse it is. You tell the shloka, he'll complete. But then he was in depression. So with all sympathy and respect, but very good person, but These things are to be discussed. Because you may memorize entire Bhagavad Gita. As some devotee was telling, you can memorize entire cookbook. Sabji aise kato, put this thing, put that masala, put everything nicely, put oil first. But if you do not know cooking, what is the use? Cook one thing nicely, that is better than memorizing entire cookbook. So thus it is important. If you are knowing the recipes very nicely, now you must act also. That is the ultimate objective. So Prabhupada is explaining, but we should learn the secret to open the jar and taste the honey. In this way, if we can simply understand one book, need not go to many books. If we can simply understand one book. Now Prabhupada explains one more thing. Or one shloka, the perfection is there. Prabhupada tells, if one understands one shloka, perfection is there. So the devotees were discussing, and so the other devotee asked that, please explain, how did you join Krishna consciousness? And he had not read many books. He had not read even Bhagavad Gita. Without reading Bhagavad Gita, decided to join. And many devotees, they would join in Prabhupada's time, read a small book, and then they joined temple. So this devotee also discussed, yes, I just read 2 shlokas and then it was clear. So he told, which 2 shlokas? So you told one shloka was, so when I was willing to join temple, dedicate my life, so then I thought, I am selfish. I am not thinking of my parents. I am not thinking of others' responsibility. Should I become happy and I cannot make others happy? Should I let them suffer like this? These are the general understanding. That is why people, they hesitate. Or I will suffer in my life. If I leave this thing, leave my job, I may suffer in future. What will happen to me? If I join temple, it is not like entering a corporate. This company is not good. Okay, join another company. Such options are not there. So if you are thrown out tomorrow or something happens, then you will suffer. So he told, but when I read the shloka, all the doubts got removed. And the shloka is, Prahlāda Mahārāja tells, Labhyate dukhvat anyata sukham kalena sarvatra gabir ramasa sukham aindriyakam daitya dehi yogena dehinam sarvatra labhyate daivad yatha dukkham ayatnatah. The sense sukham aindriyakam daitya, Prahlāda Mahārāja explains, the sense enjoyment, it is already fixed for us as soon as we take birth. Dehi yogena dehinam. Dehinam is embodied living entities. As soon as we take this body, dehi yogena, the soul comes in contact with deha. Dehi yoga happens. Then sukham aindriyakam daityam, it is already fixed. Sense enjoyment is fixed. So just see, people are so foolish. They are working out for attaining something which is already fixed in life. Yes, sir, I am working very hard. Why? To get something which is already fixed in life. I am getting so much tension. So it is already fixed. Sense enjoyment is already fixed. Then what is the need of working so hard for it? Sarvatra labhyate daivad yatha dukkham. Prahlāda Mahārāja, just like misery comes without any hard work, similarly, pleasure also will come without hard work. These things are fixed in our life. You cannot avoid distress. You cannot avoid happiness also. So then why should I be afraid of taking any decision? Any decision I take, my happiness and distress, I cannot change material. Right? So I join something, I lose something, I am here, I am there. Happiness and distress is fixed. So what is the need of any... Why should I be concerned at all? So let me take, so materiality is fixed. So let me make a decision which is good for my spiritual life. Okay, it is good for your spiritual life. What about, no, for others also, for everyone, happiness and distress is fixed. So thus, by working hard, I cannot change my happiness and distress, and I cannot change others' happiness and distress. So one should not think, oh, if I dedicate my life, some people will suffer, my family members will suffer, which is the understanding. No. My family members cannot suffer. Happiness and suffering is fixed in life. So it became very clear. Then if I cannot change anybody's happiness and distress, then what is the need of doing anything here on the material platform? But okay, happiness and distress I cannot change. Still the Shastras mention it is duty. Dronacharya was knowing, I cannot avoid my cause of death. But he did not avoid his duty. His duty was to educate. So is it not my duty to take care of my relatives? Even though I cannot change happiness and distress, but duty should be done at all costs. So then there was another shloka, and the shloka is, we have got many debts to Devarshi Bhutap Nirnam Pitranam, to Devatas, because they are arranging all these natural resources for us. Rishi means saints. They have given this knowledge to us. So if we are utilizing anything, we are supposed to pay back. That is a law of karma. Otherwise, we will suffer. It is sinful. Dev Rishi Bhutapt Nirnam Pitranam Na Kinkaro Nayam Rini Charajan. So we are supposed to pay back to Devatas. We are supposed to offer sacrifices for them. Because Devatas are arranging things for us. Similarly, we are supposed to pay back to the sages. How do we pay back to the sages? By reading the scriptures every day. So if we don't read the scriptures, it is again a sinful activity. We are not repaying the debt. That is why Swadhyay, even if a person does not want to advance, still it is must to read the Vedas to repay the debt of the sages. Dev, Rishi, Bhuta, Apta, every general living entity is contributing to our well-being. We are debt-ridden even to the plants, because the plants give us oxygen to breathe. The plants give us fruits. Even a small insect we are obliged, because of that small insect, pollination happens and we are able to have fruits and flowers. Grains come on the plants and we are able to survive because of those small insects who act as pollinators. In this way, every small living entity is doing its part in maintaining the ecosystem by which we are able to survive. So thus we are obliged to general living entities also. We are obliged to the civil engineers, so we are able to have a nice, comfortable dwelling here. We are obliged to the computer science engineers, so we are using these computers. To every person, that is why we are able to live here comfortably. We have this obligation. And how this obligation is taken care? Athithi Devo Bhava. By receiving the guest who comes suddenly without taking any appointment. Abhi appointment ke bina jao to milta nahi hai aadmi. So please take appointment and come. But this is not the Vedic principle. Vedic principle is, anybody comes, you should receive him like Devata has come. Sorry, demigod has come. So by receiving people like this to your house, we are able to repay the debt to human beings. And general living entities, their debt, how do we repay? By going outside and shouting, is anybody hungry? Is anybody around? And then offer food to them. If no hungry person you find around you, then you can take your meals. In this way, the debt to general living entities is taken care. So these are the panch yajnas which a grahastha is supposed to do every day without fail. Fire sacrifice, reading the Vedas, respecting the atithis, and feeding all the living entities around the house. So we are obliged. In this way, we are obliged to everyone. Dev, Rishi, Bhutapta, Nirnam, Pitranam. We are obliged to forefathers also. Why we are obliged to forefathers? Oh, I am so sorry. Class got stressed. So we are obliged to forefathers also. Why we are obliged to forefathers? Because they have given us this body. And how the obligation is met for the forefathers? By producing a son. in the family. What is the relation between how producing a son is satisfying forefathers? They have gone. Because putrayate kriyate bharya putra pind prayojanam. So people have forgotten all these things. What is the purpose of marriage? Purpose of marriage is, what is the purpose of bringing a wife home? Purpose of bringing wife is to have a putrayate, to have a son. Why son? Because the son can do pindadan. By pindadan, what happens? If the pitras are stuck anywhere because of sinful activities, they will get relief. If they are in ghostly bodies, they'll get gross bodies and avoid the suffering. And if they are enjoying on the good planets, Pitraloka, they'll be able to continue as long as the pindadan is happening in the family. So thus, it is important to give a son, to produce a son, to fulfill the debt of the forefathers. And where is the question of producing son without marriage? So thus, getting married is the duty of a normal person. One should marry, one should produce a son, that one should serve one's parents and forefathers, everyone. One is obliged. But it is told, na kinkaro nayam rini charajan. One person, he is not rini, he is not obliged. Who is not obliged? Who is not rini? Sarvatmanaya sharanam sharanyam gato mukundam pariritya kartam. One who has left all his duties mentioned in the Shastras. Pariritya kartam. One who leaves his duties, he will go to hell. But Sarvatmanaya sharanam sharanyam. One who has left all his duties to take complete shelter of Gato Mukundam, of Mukunda, Krishna, giver of liberation. Pariritya kartam. He is Nayam Rini Charajam. He is not obliged to anybody. He has no duty to perform. So he told, I understood just these two shlokas. I cannot change my happiness and distress or anybody's happiness and distress, and I have no duty also. And all the duty is done if you surrender to Krishna completely. So then I surrendered. So thus, two shlokas is also too much. Prabhupada tells, if we can simply understand one book or one shloka, the perfection is there. Even if one shloka we understand, there is complete perfection. Lord Chaitanya warned about reading too many books. There is a warning rather, do not read too many books. If a person reads too many books, one gets confused about the aim of life. So Lord Chaitanya warned. Although I see in America, this is very popular to get volumes and volumes of books and not understand one. People who prepare for especially MBA exams, they are very fond of finishing books. In this MBA college, which is going to become IIM, we were having a session. So we had some volunteers who were standing on the bookstall outside. So after a session, I spoke to them. So please read this book. Well, yes, Prabhu, have finished. Well, finished? I finished in 6 months. You finished in half an hour? Well, yes, Prabhu, I finished. I have good reading speed. So simply reading the book and not realizing anything, that is no use. So the secret to read, understand the philosophy is engaging. Prabhupada is explaining here, I am glad to know that you are working hard to expand the Krishna consciousness propaganda in Boston. I may say that this practical devotion is the secret to understanding the Shastras. Practical devotion is secret. So thus to Arjuna also, after explaining Satatam Kirtayantoma, Mahatmas always, they engage in my thoughts, they worship me. But then he told Arjuna, fight. Why? You may be Mahatma, but to present an example to general people, you fight. Because general people cannot come to this platform, they can always think of me. That is pure devotional platform. But now general people is Ma Manusmar Yuddhyacha. Work very hard for Krishna. Either we work hard for Krishna, or if you are working outside somewhere, work hard and offer the results to Krishna. But hard work is very much important. So thus, taste in spiritual life is in our grip. It is very easy to have taste in spiritual life. Simply we have to work hard. But the primary condition is deity worship that Prabhupada is explaining here. Morning and evening, we should be very rigid in deity worship. Mangala Arati, our Guru Puja. Never miss this morning and evening program. Be very strict. Come and sing and dance in front of deities. Worship the deities. But in the daytime, work hard for Krishna. And if you work hard, immediately there would be pleasure, there would be revelation. Every statement of the book will click. One shloka will be sufficient to bring all realization. So thus these are the secrets Prabhupada is telling. This is the secret of understanding the Shastras. So thus I request, sorry for taking long time, I was not conscious today. So we have assembled here, we are trying to hear Bhagavatam, we are trying to hear Bhagavad Gita, but we should be careful that we are knowing the secret. We are working very hard for Krishna. When we work hard to preach, then we will be able to maintain our strength. When we are having our strength, then we will be able to engage, have taste. We will be able to avoid the sinful tendencies. We will be able to do deity worship. There would be taste. And then very advanced, very nicely we'll advance in Krishna consciousness. We'll become sadhu. And if we become sadhu, then what will happen? Krishna is eager to protect us from all difficulties at all times. Where is anxiety for us in our life? So just like Madhukaita, the most powerful demons were killed by Krishna, Krishna will protect us, we'll be saved. So there's the personal realization of Prahlāda Mahārāja of personal form of the Supreme Lord. With this we will end. If any questions are there, we can take. Yes. Little louder. Yes. You are asking that, the question is, we were discussing that Jesus is told in Bible it is mentioned, I have not explained you everything because you cannot bear it now. You cannot bear the truth. Similarly, other preachers who came and explained different religions, they did not give complete knowledge. So you are asking why Prabhupada kept the bar so low and he explained knowledge. He explained complete knowledge. This is the question? Yes. We should not compromise. Yes. So here we discuss Prabhupada's disciples, they floated a political party. What was the name of the party? In God we trust. And further name was there. Very long name. In God we trust. Because in America they write in God we trust. So that was the name of the party. So Prabhupada told them, you preach without any compromise. So the question is, when other preachers, they have come here and they compromise because people were ignorant. Now also people are ignorant. Why Prabhupada told you preach without any compromise? You don't compromise. Yes, because that is the purpose. So just like IIT Bombay, as we discussed, is important. But if schools are not there, only IIT Bombay, then nobody can come to IIT Bombay also even. So thus all grades of education are required. So all these religions have been established so that one day a person can come to Krishna consciousness. But there should be Krishna consciousness also. So that those who are eligible by following all these religions can one day come to Krishna consciousness. Thus this is the time when highest philosophy is supposed to be explained. And that is what Lord Chaitanya and Prabhupada did. Any other question? Yes, so Prabhu is asking, somebody can ask in Kali Yuga, people are most fallen. So the highest knowledge is given to most fallen people. How do we understand this? Yes. Again, same example. IIT gives admission to those who have finished their school. And a person is most fallen in education. And we are telling, now you take highest knowledge. What is this? Yes, that is why it is called Namo Mahavadanyaya. All this is by the mercy of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Namo Mahavadanyaya Krishna Prem Pradayate. If Lord wants to give knowledge, who can stop? Thus Lord Vishnu, when he appeared in front of Dhruv Maharaj. Dhruv Maharaj was a small boy. He could not go to school. He directly went to search Vishnu. And Lord Vishnu appeared in his front. Now he wants to offer prayers, but he does not know anything. He is not learned. Lord Vishnu simply touched him by his conch shell. And he understood all, he got all the knowledge. He started quoting wonderful verses immediately. So if Lord wants to give knowledge, then who can stop? So this is the mercy. Lord Chaitanya has come. That is why he is called most magnanimous incarnation. He gives the topmost result to most fallen people. So it is not because of our capacity, but by mercy incarnation of Lord Chaitanya. By his mercy, people will be able to appreciate this topmost knowledge if the preacher is sincere in his efforts. Any question online? Okay. So thank you so much. We'll close now. श्री श्री राधा कृष्ण चंद्र की जय, श्री श्री कृष्ण बलराम की, श्री श्री निताय गौरांग की, जगत गुरु श्रील प्रभुपाद की।